for charities. Now, one of the big benefits of a 50-50 is it's simple, it's fast, it's easier than pie, and everybody can do it. It doesn't take a genius to do this. So what I'd like to really do is show you a demonstration first. And if you can just give me an opportunity to plug this into my phone, I will unplug this here, and I'm going to show you what sets us apart from our competitors in the 50-50 world. Now, 50-50 technology is prolific in Canada. I'm going to give you a few examples after this of really some of the successes we've seen in Canada. It's not so well known in Europe, but when you see what this does, you're going to be surprised as to why it's not prolific. And my job is to make it prolific, because this is a big, big opportunity. So we're tied in with a Fortune 500 company in Canada called TELUS. It's a large cellular phone provider. They have a charity called the TELUS Friendly Future Foundation. They put $150 million of their own money into this foundation, and it's a grant-giving foundation that gives back to the community in which they serve. Our job with this technology is to replenish the funds that are dispersed to all the wonderful causes out there. So, traditionally, a 50-50, when it was done electronically, is done either on your computer or through web-based browser on your phone, your iPad, or computer. So we simplified this. Imagine being at a sporting event. Imagine watching a premiership game and they say, hey, the jackpot is at £1 million. I think everybody wants a taste of that, so we need to buy a ticket. So using the TELUS situation here for the TELUS Friendly Future Foundation, we're going to text TELUS to 418-5050. It's a Canadian number. So we text TELUS, and this starts the whole process. And it says, thank you for texting the TELUS Friendly Future Foundation Digital 50-50 line. Text TICKS to purchase tickets at $10 each. So we'll do that, it's all caps. And we're going to submit that. And we're going to get a response back, and it says, you've requested tickets from the TELUS Friendly Future Foundation Digital 50-50 system. Would you like to be charged $10 on your phone bill, or for those that can't charge for their phone bill, maybe you've got a corporate phone, and they would be a little bit upset if you started racking up bills for 50-50s, you know, all in the name of the company, of course. They may not like that, so we can go to a web app. So let's, for the sake to make it easy, we're going to have it charged to our phone bill for the first circumstance here. So we're going to type in confirm in all caps, confirm. And once we press confirm, the system's going to think this through, and it says you've successfully been charged $10 and entered into the queue to receive your ticket. You should receive the MMS soon. See, I couldn't even get this finished, and there's my ticket. QR code, serial number, and we can do this so that it's compatible with any gaming jurisdiction. Now let's start this again, and we're going to do it web-based. So we're going to type TELUS, and we're going to go TICKS again. Submit that, and this time we're going to do it through the web. So we're going to type web, and once we do that, the system is going to give us the opportunity to push on this link. We're still in an SMS text. We're going to push this, and it opens a pre-populated shopping cart, and we're going to add the ticket to our cart. Happens that quick, and then we're going to push buy it now. And we can then use our Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit, debit, PayPal, whatever it is we want. The system is easy and it's simple. And using the SMS technology, we understand really how secure that is, because honestly, how do you break into the SMS, and what's to steal? Because the telco on their back end charges it to their account. So what sets us apart from the competition is this SMS technology. Nobody else is using this. It's fast and it's easy. You do it with one hand. So I'm giving an instance in Canada. Now, hockey's big in Canada. Imagine back in January 2021, in the middle of a pandemic, in an arena of about 17,000 people, and of course they couldn't really fill the arena back then, for the World Junior Hockey Championship between the USA and Canada. Basically, in the province of Alberta, there are 3.4 million qualified adults that can play within this jurisdiction for this 50-50 draw. Can you imagine, in a single event, $17.5 million pot? One event, one province, with 2.4 million qualified people. That's unbelievable. Somebody got half of that. It's the largest ever 50-50 in Canada. Now this is not an anomaly because the Edmonton Oilers NHL team have done this on a regular basis. Traditionally, before electronic 50-50 technology, the average National Hockey League team in Canada would do $375,000 a month collectively for all their draws. That sounds like it's substantial, but you know what? That's only for the home games. We can now do the away games and the home games. You can buy in the stadium, out of the stadium, in the bar, in the pub, at home, the hotel, wherever you want. We simplify as long as you're within the jurisdiction or the geofence boundaries of that draw. It's a simple process now, and it opens it up because we found out that only 7% of the viewing audience is in a stadium. That leaves 93% of the people that were untouched before. The addressable market is massive, absolutely massive in this field. So, the Edmonton Oilers come back out of COVID, and their first 50-50, $3.5 million. The next one, $5.5 million. And the third one was $15.5 million. But unfortunately, they had to stop selling the tickets 3 days early because the third-party billing system couldn't handle the throughput. People got frustrated, they pushed the back arrow, and they resubmitted their order 2-3 times in some cases. This resulted in a lot of upset, which is great for us, not so good for the customers, but we've now fixed that problem. It doesn't exist. We've made it so easy, there's no delays, because this is all SMS based. When there's an emergency in a country, they can send every single cell phone user a message simultaneously without blowing up the system. So buying thousands of 50-50 tickets simultaneously won't be an issue. So now, what's the benefit of this? What do we do better than the competition? We have SMS. But a lot of the people that go to these games, they don't understand what they're buying. Why am I buying a 50-50 ticket? What am I supporting? They buy it because they want to win the money. So what we can do is we can put the star of the team, whether it's Arsenal or a hockey team, into the studio for a couple hours. And then, in the middle of that event, we can push out a video to everybody's cell phone that's involved, and they can say, here's what the proceeds of today's 50-50 are going to support. It appeals to our good nature. And if this drives you to buy tickets or share it with other people on text, share it with family members and friends, get them involved. We've also developed a dashboard so you can see all the other draws going on in the jurisdiction. And it shows you, okay, I just bought tickets for the Calgary Flames 50-50, but I see the Edmonton Oilers have a draw tomorrow night and it's at $1 million. I better buy some of those. Or the Canadian Cancer Foundation next week, it's at $250,000. I better buy some of those as well. You know what the coolest part about this is? You know what our player acquisition cost is? 0. You show me anybody in this hall that can tell me they have a customer acquisition cost of 0. This is unbelievable because what we do is we borrow an audience. We use the charity's audience and we push out the message to them. We're selling them and selling their audience. But we're also growing the audience because the technology that we're using allows us to grow the already massive addressable market. So let's look at an example of traditional fundraising. In the UK, the Premiership Charitable Foundation was able to raise £40 million in 2020 through their funding partners. That's about 70 million Canadian. So this is over the course of a year. Then we look back at that Edmonton Oilers, the World Junior Championship of $17.5 million. That's 1/4 of what the entire Premiership Charitable Foundation did in 1 year, with the potential of 54 million in the UK. 2.4 million people were able to do this in one event in Alberta. So the opportunity is massive. And we call this gaming for good because it's fun, fast, friendly funding. So let's go through some of these slides a little bit. So let's look at the addressable market. Just looking at the Canada and the US situation. Number of nonprofit organizations in Canada, 170,000. US is 1.6 million. The charitable giving totals in 19 were 17 billion in Canada and 471 billion in the US. That's a big marketplace. Now, if we only had a penetration of 0.1%, yes, 0.1%, that gives us 17 million in sales in Canada and 471 million in the US. We're projecting a 5% penetration rate. We haven't even looked at other revenue streams. We haven't looked at data mining. We haven't even looked at other markets like the EU, Asia, South America, and the Southern Hemisphere. It's a massive opportunity because what we do is we allow every charity, small, medium, or large, to have access to fundraising. The cost of a charitable gaming license for a raffle, say in Alberta, Canada, $250. Can you imagine $17.5 million for $2.5 million? So we take a percentage of the take as a software as a service company. It's a lucrative opportunity. And you can see the addressable market is massive. We haven't even worked the numbers for Europe. But the opportunities are there, and now charities need this more than ever because it's been a challenge to raise money through this. So one of our other competitive advantages is the founders. And they often say a startup. It's important. Founders, founders, founders. We have been able to assemble the best team in my industry. Our competitors do not have the capabilities of our management team, our board, and our strategic advisors. I'm the CEO. Stuart Gale, the COO, has 40 years in the tech industry. Peter Green is the former senior vice president of a Fortune 500 cell phone company who brings relationships to the table with all the other cell phone companies in the world. That's the secret sauce. So, we got Lawrence Lee, our CFO, chartered accountant, chartered professional accountant, chartered business evaluator, CFA. He's the former CFO of Novotel Wireless. We have Adrian Martinez out of Florida. He's the former senior vice president of HSBC Bank. We have Jonathan Dennis, Calgary, Alberta, Canada, former attorney general and minister of justice for the province of Alberta. Laura Calloway is a Wharton MBA. She's a Fortune 50 consultant out of Texas. We have Preet Dinza, strategic advisor, former CFO and executive vice president of Ontario Lottery and Gaming. And then we've got the legendary Terry DeBono, who has a wealth of experience in the gaming world and the broadcast world. Terry is actually the brainchild of this technology. He brought it to us, and we've now taken it and executed upon it. And we're now presenting this opportunity to everybody here. And then we've got David Ojiba. He's an SAP project manager. He oversees software projects in the $100 to $150 million realm, and he builds things on time, on budget, every time. So we have the team, we have the market, we have the ability to execute, and here we are asking to raise some money to get to the finish line. We're looking for $1 million. We can be revenue positive in as soon as 90 to 120 days. Coming out of the gates, we've got a letter of intent with TELUS Cellular, and that gives us exclusive rights to direct carrier billing. We're working on other relationships with other major telephone providers across the world, and that's through Peter Green, our Chief Commercial Officer. Now, we don't need that technology right away because we can use the web-based. Using that text system with the web-based option is still easier than going into your mobile browser, much easier. So we can get into any arena now, meaning any jurisdiction, and hit the ground running. It's such a simple solution. So, let's look at where the revenue share goes. Out of $1, half goes to the winner. The charity gets the remaining 50%. So they end up with about 34 to 45% because they have to pay the expenses. 1% usually will go to the venue, so whether it's the football stadium or the hockey arena, they may take 1%. And then Mobil Fund takes between 5 and 14 cents, depending on the term of the contract or how it works. Is it a one-time event? Is it a long-time, multi-game 5-year contract? So we're very flexible. The profitability is huge. The technology is incredibly portable, and we can work on so many different levels, right? So let's look at the opportunities that this world sees, what we can do for all these charities. This is the simplest solution. It's a win-win-win-win. It's a win for the winner of the raffle. It's a win for the charity. It's a win for a company. It's a win for our stakeholder. It's really simple. And I would like to welcome anybody who may have some questions. There's a lot to go over. We've got some real competitive advantages, and I could talk all day, but you know what? We're at the forefront of innovation. We're the only SMS solution out there. We have the ability to expand in a massively addressable market at a very low cost. We understand our business inside out. We understand the marketplace. We have the dream team, we have the ability to execute, and we have a very strong financial model. I don't want to put it up there because you never see the numbers, but it is a detailed 5-year model, very conservative. Our CFO, Lawrence Lee, would be happy to take you through this to really show you the massive potential that this technology has. And with a little bit of help, we can get to the finish line. And this is about gaming for good. It's fun, fast, friendly funding. It's Mobil Fund. Anybody have any questions?
John, I'd love to get some questions now, but unfortunately I think we're going to have to take them in the back because we've overrun our time. So tell me exactly where you guys are set up so anyone wanting to invest could come to the back.
Absolutely. We're at booth 6B, just on the other side of the touchless technology that we just saw presented, Mobil Fund, and we're happy to take your questions and would love to teach a little bit more about something that we're all so passionate about. Our board looks forward to working with some of the investors out here, and thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure to present.
All right, thank you, John. And anyone that wants to learn some more, just over there after this session, and we're going to move right on to our next session, which is going to be My Lotto Hub.